It's the new season of The Conversation, and we kick things off with the most interesting race in Jamaica right now, the race to lead the People's National Party. Peter Bunting trying to displace Dr. Peter Phillips as head of the, well, Her Majesty's loyal opposition, if I may. The fact is that Bunting, the former banker and Central Manchester MP, has gotten a lot of support from within the PNP. Among his supporters, the Councillor for the Trafalgar Division in the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Kari, a woman who believes that it is the right time for the PNP and the country by extension to bank on and with, certainly, Peter Bunting. She's my special guest this week to start the new season of The Conversation. I like your outfit. Welcome to The Conversation.
Thank you so much.
Kari.
Thanks for having me.
Great. The obvious question to start with is this. What is the state of the PNP that you and others like you would prefer Peter Bunting to be in charge of?
The present state of the PNP. I find the PNP right now to be a little bit dull. Persons like myself from the group of millennials, the young professionals, upcoming corporate leaders are a little uninspired, and I believe that it is directly related to the leadership, the lack of modernization of the party, of our communications and our PR. I believe that publicly the young people, as I just said, are just disinterested and disenchanted, and I think that Peter Bunting is the person who provides that hope, who inspires that hope. And he has been doing so for some time now, through his advocacy in Parliament and, of course, through his very modern communications plan that he uses as Member of Parliament for Central Manchester.
You know, this is, well, I don't want to say one PNP because that's the slogan
that's
of
right.
your competitors.
Opponent.
I won't call it rivals because
it's one party, right?
But the PNP as a collective, people and populated by people like yourself, Peter Bunting, Dayton Campbell, who's the campaign chairman for Peter Bunting this time around, and the big names who are supporting Dr. Peter Phillips, it's still one party. The obvious question is, why is it that all of you together can't put the things, the requisite things in place to move the PNP forward without a change of leadership?
I have thought about that several times. I'm not sure that I'm confident that the present leadership, the structure of leaders, are listening to us, which, when I say us, I mean the persons who want the change, who want the modernization. I think that Dr. Phillips has made some strides in appointing and installing some younger persons as candidates within seats, within the Senate, and even in an attempt to attract more young people to the YO, he has brought out some big names. But we want a more inclusive approach. We want young people from the University of the Technology, from the University of the West Indies, the youth them on the corner, the unattached and the vulnerable. We want the inclusion of everybody. And sometimes I wonder if it's a strategy where selfishly you bring out these people to give the impression that you're about modernization, but really you aren't. You bring them in to control them and to continue the manipulative ways where you have the say and your voices really aren't being heard, but to the public it appears that way.
Say for instance, well, let's imagine that on the evening after the vote, your team loses. Clearly, you won't defect from the PNP. Am I correct?
You may or may not be correct.
That changes my question then. Let me ask the question this way then. If you lose, will you defect from the PNP? Will you encourage others to do the same?
It has been very difficult selling the PNP to persons within my generation for some time. Very difficult. And what is being said all over is that you need a change of leadership. I cannot support your party under this leadership. We are not inspired to do so. My associates believe so much in Andrew Holness, in an Andrew Holness-led JLP. Even with all that is taking place, with all the mismanagement of public funds and resources, with the so-called corruption, people don't think that the PNP is much different. They believe that we led and served for 18 years and that we had similar cases, and this is just what is coming from the ground.
Yes.
Now, for persons like me who have gone out and established ourselves professionally,
yes,
and there is still so much room and space for greater professional development, we wonder if maybe this is the time to sit aside and to build on ourselves, and to allow the leadership that is currently there to have their way and continue to put their system in place and to continue to implement policies that they believe in, that we may not necessarily want to be so aligned to. So, and I'm just being very honest with you.
Yes, you have that reputation for being a straight talker, yes.
This is how I feel in 2019. I'm not sure what will happen if Peter Bunting loses, but I can tell you that my position has been that I'm sacrificing everything to support Peter Bunting in his bid for presidency.